Guys, Chimera got much easier. The changes that they've actually implemented in the last update are really impactful and will make your life much easier, especially versus the RAM form. In today's video, we're going to run a Chimera key. We're going to go over some of the changes. And basically, I'm going to show you what they've changed exactly and give you guys a couple of tips on how you can potentially improve your damage and improve, of course, your performance when we're talking about trials. We all know that the most important thing in the Chimera is not the actual damage. Yes, you want to get the damage to get the top chest, but what is the main thing is getting as many trials as possible. So this current rotation has the following trials. Damage the Chimera on all of the 5 forms with Might, etc. Deplete the Chimera's dual bar. That's something that I do not tend to do, and that's mainly because my champion usually dies. That's the whole strategy. I need to let that champion die so I can place the debuffs and everything else, right? Then, right here, in order to get the mythical materials, because that's what we're following, mythical and legendary materials. This one is a pretty bad one because you gotta absorb damage using shields, which is gonna be pretty hard to do. Block damage using block damage or unkillable buffs. So this is kind of like an instant skip for me, at least with the team that I'm using at the moment. Then, damn, they really locked all of the freaking trials this time around. All of the mythical materials under trashy trials. Keep all the champions alive, the poison sensitivity, so I will need to bring in a Theodore or something like that to make it happen, or Dark Kale, the epic champion. I've seen quite a few people using that in order to get it done, so you don't necessarily need a Theodore because he does bring quite a few buffs, debuffs, which is, I mean debuffs rather than buffs to the table, which are really helpful. But if we're quickly going to go over some of the changes, so all you need to know about the recent changes to Chimera. The RAM form. The damage the Chimera while it is under a fear or true fear debuff only counts damage from skills. The damage requirement has been decreased for Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, which is actually pretty good. Then, damage the Chimera within 3 of its turns while it is under a decreased defense debuff and your champions are under a perfect veil. The damage requirement was decreased on Brutal Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. Then, damage the Chimera while it is under a weaken and your champion is under increased crit rate or increased crit damage. The damage requirement was decreased as well on all difficulties except easy. Then deplete the Chimera's dual bar within 5 turns. The damage was decreased on all difficulties. Was pretty damn crazy on Ultra Nightmare. Was 2.2 million if I remember it correctly, which was highly unlikely. Like, your champions might die unless you have like the craziest Chimera team where you have Fina in the team and stuff. You're just not really going to get it done, right? On top of it, we decrease the number of stun debuffs required for the following trials on all difficulties. Block stun debuffs using block debuffs, intercept or stone skin buffs within 5 of the Chimera's turns. That used to be pretty annoying because sometimes the boss might skip its turn and not use that skill, and you're just basically waiting for the boss to attempt to land the stun, but it's just not happening, right? So it's good that they decrease that. The Lion form. Absorb damage using shield buffs. Will not count surplus damage. The damage requirement decreased on all difficulties. Block damage using block damage or unkillable. Damage requirement decreased on all difficulties. I'm not 100% sure by how much for every single one of them because there are some trials that I was never really paying attention to, especially these ones right here. My team is just not built up to deal with this, and it's very hard to make it happen. Whenever I try to bring in shields and stuff, I was just literally not making it happen, okay? The boss was just not dealing enough damage, especially if I have the strengthen up from Lydia, decrease attack from Necmo. But now, the boss does deal a lot of damage. That boss deals a lot of damage. Then, damage the Chimera using reflect damage buffs, Painling debuffs or passive reflecting damage. The damage requirement decreased. And on the Viper form, the damage the Chimera with poison debuffs while it's under a poison sensitivity debuff, the damage requirement decreased on all difficulties. I think before it was 250k or 300k. Either way, I know for a fact, because I paid attention to this one, they haven't really decreased it by a lot. Then, moving on to a few different topics related to the Chimera, guys. Within the last release, we fixed a bug related to how one of the Lion trials were counted. However, due to an oversight, the fix was not included in the release notes. The Lion trial plays 6, 8, 10 debuffs on the Chimera. One of the debuffs must be a decreased resistance debuff. Has been functioning incorrectly since Chimera was first released. Previously, if the decreased resistance debuff was applied after the previous challenge was completed, the trial would auto-complete. That's something that I've noticed as well. So, as long as you were putting some debuffs before, it doesn't matter when you were placing the decreased resistance, this was counting. So it seems like they're going to change it. Not in a good way, in a bad way, basically, right? Last but not least, to wrap up the Chimera section of our digest, here's a tip from the devs on how to deal with a Ram Chimera's passive. Unbreakable Focus. There's a rare blessing called Nature's Bounty that converts fear into true fear. Yes. So I was actually going to mention that. So my Lydia right now has a Brimstone. If I wouldn't be too stingy with my gems, I would put Brimstone on a different character, like a Galatir, and change that blessing onto Lydia. But I'm going to show it to you that I can do it without having the bigger version, because the change to the Ram form is actually pretty damn substantial. So there is this blessing right here. Nature's Bounty. Whenever this champion applies a smaller version of a debuff, it will have a chance to apply the bigger version instead. Now, when you have it to 6-star, there's a 60% chance, not 100, to apply the bigger version. So the best blessing for Lydia would actually be this one, because she's going to put a True Fear, which will basically cancel the reflect damage, which is really, really helpful with the trials. Now, this rotation, and especially this weekly rotation with these nasty trials, locking all the mythical materials, are not that important because, hey, my team is just not built for it. I'm actually quickly going to try and see if I can bring in onto Shiro a Blood Shield accessory. Now, I'm not too sure that I have that available, but we are going to find out. So, Blood Shield accuracy. This makes me drop 15 speed and 600 attack. Damn, that is not a good one. This is resistance. Now, I'm going to try my lockout. Defense. Okay, not a good one. Then, I could maybe find a crit damage one. That could work. No attack on that one. This is an attack one. This has attack, but no attack percentage on it. Same with this one. I will try it, even if I'm losing damage, just to see if it will work. So let me just quickly find my Merciless accessories. Do I have a decent banner? Okay, it seems like I do not really have a different banner to replace what I have going on. So this is an attack one. I can now reroll that one, actually. What about this one? Can I? Please, attack. Okay. You know what? I'm going to lose the attack. That's fine. I'm going to lose the attack. Doesn't matter. Let me use a Glyph right here. Now I'm going to lose 400 attack. 50 accuracy. That is a lot of accuracy to lose, though. But I will try to quickly ascend it. Give me accuracy, because I do not have much dust. Come on, accuracy. Accuracy! Okay, resistance. I can make it happen like that. But maybe I can bring in something else instead of this. And I'm going to go for Blood Shield. So this one has attack, crit damage, and higher accuracy. We are going to bring this one in. It doesn't matter that I am losing that crit damage. Not a problem. I want to see if it helps. So we're going to use one of these. Get more accuracy. And where are we now? Hopefully, we're going to have enough accuracy. That might be a bit of an issue. Maybe I can use another glyph right here. Okay, 6 more. Do we have any here? That's almost maxed. Nothing there. And none here. That's fine. We're going to give it a go as it is. And we're going to go on a Ultra Nightmare too. So, I'm going to show you how to basically play versus the Ram form. And we're going to see if versus the Lion form, the shield that we're getting from the Blood Shield will be enough to actually trigger that trial. It might not be. Usually, I am using Alice the Sandbearer as the main damage dealer. And using a Blood Shield accessory on him was good because the Lion form will always attack and put the debuffs on the champion with the highest defense. So Alice has, of course, the multipliers based off defense. So that was always working really good, and he was always getting attacked. Now, in that situation, it might work now, but I still think that it won't work now, okay? Plus, we have Mikage that does bring in that crappy shield with a basic skill that replaces the blood shield, and that shield is just not big enough. So we're gonna see how it goes. I usually don't use this skill right here, but seems like I've used it from reflex, which is fine, not a problem. The boss will steal the buff, so that's pretty pointless to use it. Let's go with this skill. Okay, see, we lost the buffs. The boss does deal a lot of damage, though. Like, look at my Mikage. It was always almost wrecked. Let's do that. Let's increase the speed, put a decrease attack, block buffs. And we can continue to do a bit of damage and slowly get to the next form. I'm actually going to let it play on auto a little bit. And then I'm going to stop it. Kind of like do my rotation. I'm waiting for the next Chimera rotation, basically, where we have some different elemental affinities and stuff. So I can use different champions in there. Having this spirit affinity is really bad for Alice. Is reducing my damage by quite a bit, which kind of sucks, to be honest. Okay, Toshiro is putting up good numbers, though, so no need to stress about it. Okay, we got provoked right there, but it doesn't matter. So we are on turn 3. Usually on turn 4, on the last round, I'm metamorphing with Mikage, so I have her increased accuracy ready for the ramp form, and as soon as I put the increased accuracy, I can metamorph back and use the ally attacks and everything else, right? Now, positioning is very important. You want to have Lydia in the second slot, if not the lead slot, depending on what you're using, a speed aura or whatever. And that is mainly because you want to ensure that the fear will go on the enemy before the damage dealer attacks. So when you're doing an ally attack or a counter attack, the positioning of your characters is extremely important, right? So you have the lead, you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you want your damage dealer in the last slot and Lydia anywhere before that. The faster in the turn count, the better, because the other champions won't be able to fill the debuff bar before she places the fear. So that is very, very important. So I'm going to keep that skill available from Lady Mikage till we go to the next form right here. No need to buff with that because I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping it nice and smooth. We can definitely buff with that. We should be able to get it back in a little bit. I do have my Necmo on Relentless here and Impulse, which is really, really good. Same with my Galatir. You see he's constantly taking freaking turns, which help a lot. Okay. So we have Mikage. It is in a way or another pretty important on how I am sorting out my order for turn meter here. Who goes first and who doesn't. Because I need to make sure my Galatir revives before my Mikage takes a turn to put a buff. And it seems like this time around, it might not happen. And that's a bit of a shame because my Galatir is about to go in front and I do not have the right relic on him. I have actually the wand right now. There is that rare relic, I forgot the name, the book that gives you turn meter when an ally dies. That's something that I normally use on my Galatir, and that's mainly because he gets the turn meter so he can revive my champion. You see, like right now my Necmo dies. So usually my I revive and then Mikage takes a turn. So right now I'm going to have to wait a bit. I could do that, and hopefully the boss won't take a turn before me. No need to debuff. I'm just going to go with the A1. I lost quite a bit of HP, as you guys probably noticed. Now we're going to attempt to put a fear. I'm going to boost the turn meter. I'm going to put a decrease attack. I'm going to put the increased accuracy now. I'm going to boost. So we're getting the immunity, so the boss won't stun us now. And now I can actually go in and land debuffs, right? So I can go in like this. Bang, 2 debuffs right there. That's fine. The boss took the turn. No fear, so I'm going to just gently go in with the A1 to keep the champion alive. I'm going to land the debuffs. So how many we need? We need 2 more. Gonna try to put a decrease attack, so I need one more now. And I'm gonna boost A1 again. Lydia will apply the defense down. I can metamorph with her right now. So check this out. I should wait for the defense down, actually. So I'm gonna use this instead. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'm not gonna be able to land the fear, though, you see? That's one of the things that can mess you up. But that's fine. We should be able to make a comeback on it once some debuffs expire. So probably he's going to die right now. Yep, as expected. But that's fine. That's fine. We're going to revive him. So we're going to revive. That brimstone is going to go off. And I got to make sure Lydia will put the fear before that happens. So, no defense down. It seems like the boss took a lot of turns. Damn. Okay. So Shiro will put that down, though. I have fear. So look at this. I'm going to use the ally attack now. You see? We haven't lost any HP. And I don't need the big fear. This is enough. I don't need the true fear. So you don't really need that blessing. With this and with Leech on, my champion got literally back to full HP. So I'm going to apply the defense down. You see? I'm just not losing the HP. Now, unfortunately, we lost a lot of accuracy on my champion when I changed that banner to see if I can do something with that shield. And we're just not looking too good right now. But because of the fear, my champion stays alive no matter what skills I'm using, which is really, really good. Really, really good. So we have the defense down and weaker now. The next thing that we're going to want to ensure we're going to keep on is, of course, fear. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8. Do not land the poison. Thank you. We lost him because we had no fear. You see how much of a difference it makes now? That's what I'm saying. Like, the changes that they've done are actually really, really good. Really helpful, especially versus the ramp form. I know that this used to be one of the most annoying forms in the entire freaking game. So if I could get that ally attack again, would be amazing. Seems like I do not have it yet. And we kind of lost it. But you can see how much better it is to bring in just fear. Not even true fear. My champion doesn't die as long as that fear is there. Now, the true fear will completely change a bit the way the boss acts. I'm not sure if I can actually see it somewhere here. Let's see. Actually, no, we changed form, so I cannot see it. But having the true fear is better, but is enough even with fear. Like, it makes a huge, huge difference versus the ramp form. So you don't necessarily need to bring in the block damage anymore, right? Which is pretty damn big because initially you always kind of like wanted to have Alice the Sunbearer. You wanted to have Fina in the team, so somehow you can keep your champions alive versus the ramp form, and you were struggling with the trials. Now, if you bring in Alice, you can actually probably deplete the dual bar by having the fear or the true fear and defense down and weaken. You can put the block damage right before the regular form swaps into the ramp form. The boss will attempt to kill the champion with the lowest crit damage, which in my case is Negmotar, but because I'm going to have block damage, the boss won't be able to. The dual bar with proc, Negmotar won't be able to use any of the skills except the basic skill, which sucks because I won't have the increased turn meter, increased speed, and the decreased speed on the boss, and the decreased attack. But maybe I will have enough damage to deplete the dual bar in 2 or 3 turns. So that's something that you should aim to do only on the second cycle of the rotation. Once you're gonna get to, what is it, turn 30, 35, if I'm not mistaken, that's where you get back to the ramp form again. You can aim to do it at that point. So I will definitely be trying to do it, right? But right now I want to see if that shield is somehow enough to get us through the pain versus this form. So I'm gonna do it on manual. Now, my highest defense champion is Galatir. As you guys probably noticed, the boss is attacking Galatir. So, damage the Chimera. Which one is that trial? Is it this one right here? No, is it? Oh, I need to increase defense to unlock it, man. Okay. So that's something that I won't have available in this team to see. You know what? I'll be back in a second. I'm going to bring in Alice the Sunbearer instead. So give me a quick second. I'm going to free regroup. I forgot that you need that increased defense. And I have literally no champion for increased defense in there. So where is my Alice? I will try to give him a blood shield accessory, see how I can put that on. Gonna have to change and bring him the relic on. So, Alice, get your relic back, bro. Masteries are fine. Blessing, Steel Crushing Rand. And let's see how we can fit a blood shield accessory here. I know that I had some, but I can't remember if it was a ring. Was it a shield? A shield. Was it a banner? I mean, this banner is not bad. I'm losing a bit of accuracy on him too, which means that I won't be able to land the HP burn, which kind of sucks. Unless I'm getting straight accuracy. Come on, game. Freaking attack, man. Freaking attack. That's fine. We're going to try with this banner, though. So let's give him some defense. Okay, maybe a bit more defense. There we go. And a bit of more HP, because the boss does deal a lot of additional damage. We can get up the speed a bit. I'm going to have to see how I can bump a bit the accuracy, maybe. This is a defense one. Do I have a better one by any chance? I think I got one at some point, but it doesn't seem to be better, no. So I will try to throw in one of these ones. Give me 12! Okay, 11. That's good too. The higher the defense, the more damage we're going to squeeze out of this champion. Then, I have the blood shield on. He does deal crazy damage, like crazy hits. So maybe, just maybe, we're going to make it work. So I'm going to check if the gear is fine. 6 pieces, 1 piece, that's enough. We lost a bit of crit damage. Doesn't really matter as much. So we're going to go back to it, and I'm going to bring in Alice the Sun Barrel. Now, on this main form, it sucks because he's weak affinity. So expect to see a lot of weak hits, right? That's kind of like one of the main issues. So let's put that. And because we are going to the lion form, he's usually going to be the lowest HP. So Mikage's shield is going to replace it instead of going on the lead like it just did now, okay? So we're going to go A1 only. Okay. I won't keep you through the entire thingy, guys. But I'll come back once I reach turn 5 to see if the block damage thing will work, actually, okay? So I'll be back in a second. Right, so I'm going to put the block damage now and see if we are able to squeeze in enough damage versus the boss to kind of like deplete that. Now, we're not going to be able to basically get it done to proc the trial because I'm still on 0 trials. I need to go to 2 different ones before that. But I want to see if by any chance it will be enough. Now, this will cause me a big issue, and that is the fact that I won't be able to get this easily done, right? Because my Necmo is literally blocked right now. So he's not able to use any of the skills except the basic skill. So I'm losing 2 debuffs from him. But maybe, just maybe is enough. So if I'm Metamorph, let's do an ally attack. So we have 7.6 million damage. We need basically 18 million damage, I think. Is it 18? No, 8 million damage. 8 million damage. Sorry, not 18. So 8 million damage. Can we get can we get to 16 plus million damage as it is right here or not? Okay, so we've done that trial. We had no fear. We lost him, unfortunately. That's fine. We can revive. Prog the fear. True fear is much better for this, though. I feel like in order to get this trial down, you want to have the true fear. We have no leech, so he's not gaining back any HP, which sucks, right? And that's mainly because my Negmotar is in that situation. Now, the only champion that I could put to have the lowest crit damage and don't really affect the rest of the team would be Galatir. But then I won't have the immunity, and that would still affect the team. If I would bring the True Fear with that blessing on my Lydia, that would be a different story because I should be able to get it done. So we're going to put the block damage up and running once again. And I need to deal 6 more million damage in 1 turn. No. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So it's still pretty much more or less the same thing. You need a true fear. I just wanted to check if by any chance we are able to get it done just with fear, you know, but it's clearly not looking like it's doable. So what we're gonna do right now, guys, I'm gonna let it go on auto till we reach the lion form, and I'll be back in a second, and we're gonna check if the shield from him is enough to basically get that trial done now, or it won't be. Right, so we are at the lion form. We're gonna have to do a bit of damage with increased defense first, while the boss is under 6 or more debuffs. So we need to increase defense. That should be pretty straightforward. So we're gonna put a block damage quick. Let's land some debuffs and see what happens. Extra turn. I don't want to use the cleanse because the boss will attack me. So instead, I'm gonna try to land all of the debuffs before. So let's do an ally attack too. Okay, Necmo, give me the speed, give me the debuffs. So we have the decreased attack. Now, because I will put the defense down, I will have the strengthen on. I will have the increased defense, which might stop the boss from doing enough damage. So right now, bang, look at the shield. I have a massive shield. The next trial is absorb damage using shield buffs and will not count surplus damage. So only the value of the shield. But I have a good shield. Now I'm going to cleanse. The boss will attack him because I cleansed, okay? You see? He just did not really do enough damage. It was 10k damage. Is this easier to achieve right now? With this skill, it seems like he ignores the shield. Even though he dealt 7k damage somehow on top of it, he ignored the shield. So, why make a trial where you need to soak in damage with shield, but then the freaking boss ignores shield? Like, isn't that like one of the dumbest things? Or what? Like, whatever. Most likely, I still won't bother with this trial much. So the boss is gonna attack again. 26k. How is 26 plus 17? 33k. So it did not counted some of the damage. And I still have shield on. So it seems like either is a bit of a bug with calculating it, because the boss did not break the shield. So I don't understand how 26k hit plus 17 equals 33k. But either way, let's just assume that we might be able to pull it off. Maybe we are able to pull it off. So we got a better shield right there. We need a decreased resistance, the ally attacks. I have plenty of debuffs on. I don't need to do nothing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. No need to metamorph with him because I won't be able to land the other one. Instead, I'm going to try to get a cleanse and do an ally attack first. So let's do the ally attack. So that should get the other trial done. Beautiful. I'm trying to put a decreased speed now. Actually, let's gain a bigger shield, right? Why not? Let's gain a bigger shield. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Still cleanse. The boss will attack him again because we removed the debuff. And that was a 20k hit as well. How is that 20k hit plus 33 making 44k, bro? Like, it's no surplus damage because the boss did not break the shield. Like, maybe I'm misunderstanding something in here, but it just said will not count surplus damage. And the boss did not proc surplus damage. So we are almost halfway through. Okay, it definitely seems more achievable. With all of the shit talk that I'm doing in here, guys, regardless of the things that make no sense, or maybe I'm missing the point of something, that's a possibility. At least we are on the right path. We can definitely do that by the looks of it. You see, that just triggered. Actually, no, it doesn't. Okay, they fixed it. They just said that they haven't fixed it. I've just literally tried it, and they did fix it. When? I do not know, but they did fix it. So, 2 more. I need 3 more debuffs there. 2 of its turns. Land a decreased attack, and what other debuff can I land? And then it reset me completely. Okay. That sucks. That sucks. So I need to keep an eye on that too, because now it works. Now it works. So in order to basically trigger the boss to use that skill all the time is by getting the cleanse, you know. If you cleanse... Oh, I have no decreased speed. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There's no point to land it now anyway, because it's turn 20. Extra turn, please. I feel like my champions will die here. I have too many buffs, and my Galatir doesn't proc the passive. GG's. Okay, some of them survived. Either way, it definitely seems more achievable to get this trial done by using a Blood Shield accessory. Now, some of the math, it made no sense to me. Still don't understand why. Maybe some of you guys can share some clarity in the comments down below. Maybe I just missed something. Maybe it's just bad math in there. But it seems like the changes, at least on these trials, are much better. This as well is 500k blocking damage, which is very easy with my team as long as I can pass through this trial. The only problem here is the fact that it might take me both of the cycles to get to this point. And even though I might put a shield set on a different character, it won't be enough to do it in the first cycle. So I'll have to get to the second cycle. So that already makes a massive, massive difference. But the other changes, like even on the ramp form, you need 7 instead of 8. I think you needed 8 before to land the stuns. The damage was reduced a bit from the other ones, which is fine. The Viper form still has the same score right here. And this is 250k. Now, I think it was 300k before, so it's not like a massive drop. 250k is still very hard to achieve without bringing a poison activator, like a Theodore or a different champion, right? That's why I really wanted to get Balar. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How is your experience so far with the Hydra changes? Are you finding it much easier to complete trials, to survive the ramp form? And as I've mentioned, most likely I will change my blessings around a little bit. I think I will put Brimstone on Lady Mikage, and on Lydia I will change to the blessing that will allow me, will give me a chance to put True Fear on it. Now I think the chance is somewhere at, where is it? At 45% chance at 5-star. Decent-ish. With Masteries, you can actually increase that to 50%. Either way, guys, that was all for the video. I just wanted to go over the Chimera changes. Apologies if I said Hydra. It is pretty freaking hot in here. And I might not be thinking straight. But either way, much love, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.